and welcome to another Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips podcast. I am your host, Tyler Boloski. Let me introduce to you tonight our co-host. He has more likes and favorites on Twitter than myself. I give you Eli Boloski.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And that's Eli. And I give you our guest tonight. He is our tight end expert. He is an expert, Eli, and this is why he's an expert. A couple years ago, he drafted 3 tight ends in one draft.
Really?
3 tight ends in the first 7 rounds. Gronk, Jason Witten, and Jimmy Graham. He's an expert in tight ends. I give you Bill King.
Hi there. It's good to be with you.
All right, Bill, we are excited to have you tonight for our podcast. Tonight we're doing our top 10 tight ends for the year. Before we get started, we do have one email from Bill R. in Oswego. He wants to know if you still have Tony Gonzalez in your fantasy football keepers league.
Boy, if he still pulled on a jersey, I'd have him.
Bill loved Tony Gonzalez when he still played, and he's hoping he comes out of retirement. That's why he's going to keep him for a while. News and notes this week, we have Arian Foster going to the Miami Dolphins. For me, that's not a really big deal. I wasn't going to draft him anyways. Eli, what do you think about Arian Foster?
Arian Foster, yeah, I like what you said. I wouldn't draft him anyways. But now they're going to be splitting time, I think, right? With the
Jay Ajayi?
Jay Ajayi.
Yeah. I don't really like Foster. He's always hurt. He's getting old. So people are taking him. I don't want him. You can have him.
Yeah.
Bill, what do you think about Foster?
Well, I think in a PPR league, he's going to catch a lot of passes. He's going to swing out of that backfield. He's awful elusive in open space. I think he's going to be someone to stash down toward the bottom of your roster.
All right, sounds good. So let's get right into our top 10s this week. We're going to do top 10, a sleeper, a bust, and a blowout, along with a candy bar bet. So for number 1, I think we all have the same Gronk. He's just a stud this year. He's big. He has a nickname Gronk. I mean, I think he's a number 1 pick.
Yep.
First round, maybe
First round, not number 1 pick.
Yeah, early second round. My only concern would be Tom Brady is going to be out the first 4 weeks. So his numbers are going to take a dip. A lot of people are saying he's going to get 200 points this year, but I think now it's probably 175. Bill, what do you think about Gronk and Tom Brady missing the first 4 games?
Well, I think Tom Brady's not going to be as much a factor if Garoppolo needs a target. He's there. If they use him with Martellus Bennett, the way they used Hernandez and Gronk together, that's an awful tough combination to cover. So it could be he's just as consistent out of the gate no matter who's playing.
That's true. I would take him if he falls to the second, third round, but I'm not taking him first round.
Yeah, the only thing that's wrong with Gronk is that he gets injured.
He does have that.
Last year he got injured.
Yeah, he does have that injury tick to him.
Yeah. But other than that, he's great.
He is great. 2 through 10 is going to be the same names, just different order. So let's just get right into it. Number 2, Bill, who do you have at 2?
I got Greg Olsen. He's got big, soft hands. He's very important to Cam Newton. It makes it tough to cheat the safeties up to cover Cam's running. So he catches a lot of balls, and he's got a knack for getting in the end zone.
Yeah, I like him this year. I have him at 3 for the same reasons. Cam, he's going to be his number 1 target again. He's going to see all the red zone touches. And, the only thing that would concern me would be Calvin Benjamin coming back, taking some touches, but Olsen's the man in Carolina. Eli, who do you have at 2?
I have Greg Olsen at 2. He's very reliable. He's going to put up a lot of numbers this year. He's going to do great because he has Cam Newton throwing the ball to him, and he's the best. He's the best catcher in Carolina.
He is. I have Jordan Reed out of Washington. I like him this year. I like Washington's passing game. I think that he's just going to catch probably 80 to 90 balls this year with maybe 10 touchdowns. They're just going to be pass heavy this year. I know his injuries are kind of a concern, but I can look past that as he's probably going to be the number 1 target. I know they have Deshaun Jackson, but he's getting old.
Yeah.
And Pierre Gasol. And so I like Reed this year at number 2. As I said, number 3, Greg Olsen. We pretty much covered him. Eli, who do you have at 3?
I have Latavius Green because I think he's going to put up a lot of numbers this year. He's going to do great this year because he has Big Ben throwing the ball to him. The only thing is because he's not used to being a number one tight end, and there's Antonio Brown also in Pittsburgh. So that's my only concern. Other than that, he's gonna put up big numbers this year.
This is his first year in Pittsburgh too, so he has to
Yes.
get used to the
Yes.
offense. But with Big Ben there and Antonio helping him along, I think he'll do great. He did back up Antonio Gates last year in
Yeah,
San
he did.
Diego, so he's got the experience. Bill, who do you have at 3?
I have Travis Kelce. He's real reliable. Smith looks to him fast. He's gonna rack up a lot of catches. Not a lot of touchdowns, but a lot of
He
catches.
gets a lot of yards too. Like,
Yep.
well, he doesn't go deep, but he runs deep. Like he'll catch the ball short and then run deep for a touchdown.
You're right. He does get those jack yards, and I like Kelsey also. He is the check down receiver, if not the number one there. They do have Jeremy Maclin, but Kelsey's the answer.
Yeah.
Number 4, I have what's his name? Tyler Eifert.
Tyler Eifert.
Tyler Eifert. I'm probably going to knock him down a little bit. He is supposed to miss the first 2 games of the year with his ankle injury, but he's the number 2 receiver in Cincinnati. If you do take him, be ready to take up a backup, like a Zach Miller, Eric Ebron type of guy to fill in those first 2 or 3 weeks. I like Tyler Eifert this year. I have him at 4. Who do you have at 4?
I have Tyler Eifert as well.
No, you have Zach Miller.
No, I have Tyler Eifert.
Oh, you're switching them.
Mhm.
You're making the
I have
switch.
Tyler Eifert at 4. He's gonna be great this year because he's got Andy Dalton throwing the ball. The only concern is that yes, he will miss those 2 games, and because he's playing in AJ Green's shadow.
He is. Yep.
Okay.
Bill, it looks like you have Jordan Reed at 4. Why do you have him at 4?
Well, I think that Cousins has got to pan out all season. If he plays the way he ended the year, I think that he'll do well. I'm not concerned about Jordan Reed being injured. I think that the Washington passing attack is really starting to liven up. I think he's going to get. I think he's going to get the ball quite a bit, but not quite as much as my other 3.
All right. Well, who do you have at 5 then?
Delaney Walker. He's probably going to catch 130 passes, probably for about 135 yards, but he's going to get the ball a lot.
He is. They do like him down in Tennessee. Marcus Mariota does dump it off to him. My only concern in Tennessee, though, is they signed DeMarco Murray, and they want to start pounding the ball a little more, so maybe that'll take away some touches. For Delaney Walker, I have him at 13, just because of that. I dropped him way out of the top 10. I would draft him if my other top 10 guys aren't there, but
Like a backup.
for a backup maybe. Yeah, if I drafted Tyler Eifert and he's still sticking around, I'm just scared that because they're going to be run heavy on him.
Yeah.
I have number 5.
Wait, I'm supposed to share my number 5.
Well, we can split it. I will go first.
Okay.
All right, number 5. I have Kobe Fleener out of New Orleans Saints. I think he's just gonna be awesome this year. He's coming out of Indianapolis where he split time with Dwayne Allen. But he's got Drew Brees throwing him the ball. He's probably the number 2 option now, maybe 3, but he's gonna be blowing it up this year. And I like him a lot. If he's sitting there at the 6th, 7th round, I'm taking him.
Yeah.
All right, share your 5 now, Eli.
I have Jimmy Graham at number 5, only because of Russell Wilson and what he's done earlier in his career. He's done great earlier. This is his 2nd or 3rd year in
Third year,
Seattle.
yep, 3rd year. And the 3rd year that he was with the Saints, he blew it up also.
Yeah.
So this is his 3rd year in Seattle. Now you can
And he
start,
has Russell Wilson throwing the ball
Yep.
to him. That's great.
and they don't really have a running game this year,
They
so
don't.
they'll be throwing a lot more. Are you concerned that he's coming off that injury though?
I am a little concerned, but other than that, well, if you can get a good backup, like let's say Zach Miller,
Even Antonio Gates probably be
even
sitting there.
Antonio, yeah, if Antonio Gates can stay healthy for 1 or 2 games, then I think that would be great because Antonio Gates is always injured.
He is. Bill, who do you have at 6?
I have Julius
I'm
Thomas.
sorry, 5. 5.
I have Delaney Walker at 5. I think he's going to catch a lot of
we already talked
passes.
about- yeah, 6.
Yep.
I'm sorry, 6.
6 is Julius Thomas. I think Bortles has really been hot. In fact, one of the hotter quarterbacks toward the end of the year in all statistical areas. He's got two good receivers to help stretch things out, and I think Julius is going to be healthy, and he's got a great touch and an attitude. I like a guy with attitude.
I like Julius Thomas too. He was coming out of Denver. This is his second year now, second year in Jacksonville. He was hurt pretty much all of last year. And when he was in Denver, he was a stud with Peyton Manning. I like him. I do have him at 7 though.
I have him at 8.
You have him at 8, so we're right around the same ballpark with Julius Thomas. He's going to be probably the number 3 week 2 receiver out there in Jacksonville. I have Travis Kelce at 6 for the same reasons Alex Smith likes to dump it off to the tight ends. He is going to probably catch more balls than the receiver. What's his name? Macklin. Jeremy Macklin. So I like.
Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce.
Yes, Kelce. Go, Eli. Number 6.
Number 6. I have Coby Fleener at number 6. He's going to do great this year. He was splitting time with Dwayne Allen last year, but now he has a better quarterback, a more consistent quarterback, and he's the number 2 option instead of the number 3 option.
Exactly.
He's going to put up numbers this year.
Exactly. All right, moving on to number 7, I have Julius Thomas, and we just touched on him. So, Bill, who do you have at 7?
I have Ladarius Green, and he's my sleeper breakout guy. I think it's going to be fun to watch the Pittsburgh offense. They're going to use him in some interesting ways because they got Le'Veon Bell, they've got Brown. It's going to be hard to cover him, so they're going to use him in an innovative way, and he's going to do extremely well.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Where would you draft him at?
I'd probably take him if he was still on the board, early to middle 2nd round.
Ooh, all right, early to middle 2nd. Make that little note right there. Eli, who do you have at number 7?
I have Julius Thomas at number 7 because they have Blake Bortles. But because Blake Bortles isn't the best quarterback, he's close to the worst.
I agree with that. I think he's gonna take a big step back this year.
Yeah.
I really do.
He's gonna put up numbers. He's gonna do good this year. He's not really he's a iffy starter. If you had to, I mean, if Coby Fleener wasn't there and Jimmy Graham weren't there, I would take him.
You would take him. So probably like a bye week filler for you then.
Probably.
Okay.
Unless I have to start him.
Okay. Bill, who do you have at number 8?
I have Fleener. I think Fleener's a system tight end. I think he did well in Indy because of the system. I think he goes to New Orleans where there's another system that's favorable to him. I think he's going to see a lot of passes, but I don't have a real high level of confidence in him. If I were to pick him, I'd probably take him 3rd, 4th round.
Excellent. I have Ladarius Green out of Pittsburgh also. I like him a lot this year. I think he could be one of those guys who he could be a boom or bust. I think because he's not he's only played 4 or 5 games in San Diego last year, but with Big Ben, started 4 or 5 games. But with Big Ben in the system, I think he could be really good.
Yeah, because Big Ben is way better than Philip Rivers.
Exactly, and I like Green this year. If he can stay, he's got ankle problems, but who's not injured these days in the NFL?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Eli, who do you have at number 8?
I have Zach Miller at number 8. He's my sleeper.
He's gonna be your sleeper this
Yeah,
year.
he
Why do
is.
you like Zach Miller?
Because Zach Miller, he's gonna do great because Alshon Jeffrey, he's not the best receiver, and Jay Cutler, he's gonna do great this year. And Zach Miller, I just think I've read about him in articles in the ESPN magazine, and what they're saying, I think really stands out to me, and I think he's gonna do great this year.
Yeah, I think he could be probably the number 2 option in Chicago outside of
Maybe
Jeffries.
number 1.
Well, I'd
If
put
Jeffrey
Jeffries and
gets
then Miller, but then you have Kevin White. But I'd probably put Miller at number 2.
Eddie Royal.
Eddie Royal. You're really hung up on Eddie Royal. You really like him, don't you?
No, I like Kevin White.
Oh, you like Kevin White. But every time we mention the Bears, you always say Eddie Royal.
I like drafting Kevin White. I'd say Eddie Royal more.
Oh, okay. Good explanation. Bill, who do you have at number What number are we on, Eli?
Number
Eight?
9.
Eight. Number 8.
I had Fleener.
Wow, I'm not even paying attention.
9.
Number 9. All right, who do you got at number 9?
I got Gary Barnidge out of Cleveland. I think he's going to get a million looks. There aren't many tools to work with unless they re-sign Josh Gordon, as there's been some chit-chat. He's going to get an awful lot of looks. He showed himself to be real consistent the last 2 years.
Same thing. I have Gary Barnidge at number 9 also. I think he's probably the only passing option. They do have Corey Coleman, the rookie receiver, but rookie receivers aren't. I don't think this class is going to be as great as the last 2 classes. So RG3 or was it Luke McNow?
Luke McNow.
Just dump it off to Barnidge. He'll get 10 to 15 catches a game. Probably 10 to 15 touchdowns this year if they can just stay healthy and get that running game going too. Do a lot of play actions. Eli, who do you have at number 8 or 9?
Yeah, 9. I have Jason Witten at number 9. Because the only reason why I wouldn't draft him is because
He's a Cowboy.
No,
Well, that
because
reason too.
Romo is not consistent. I was thinking of Des Bryant, who's not consistent, but Tony Romo's not consistent.
As in because he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Witten's probably on his last leg. He's getting up there in age, but that's not a bad pick. He can catch the ball. He will see a lot of looks in the red zone, and that's a good
He's
pick.
34 years old.
34. That's how old I am, and I'm not old, but he is.
Yeah.
All right, who do you
for
have?
NFL, that's old.
That is old. All right, finish it up, Eli. Number 10. Who do you have?
I have Travis Kelce. Same reason Bill and Tyler said it. They really like to dump it off. He's going to get a lot of touchdowns this year. He's going to get a lot of yards. Alex Smith is dumping it off to him, I guess, not really throwing it to him, but yeah, I think he's going to put up numbers this year.
Numbers. All right. And Bill, who do you have at 10?
I got Jimmy Graham for 10. Like you said, Seattle's not going to be running as effectively this year, and they're going to be looking, and he blew it up in his 3rd year in New Orleans. I think he's going to do it there in Seattle. They got a lot of criticism for not using him the way that New Orleans did, and so I think they're going to address that.
Exactly. Yeah, they did. They really didn't use him the last 2 years as they should have.
And then Tyler, you have
I
Zach
have
Ertz.
Zach Ertz is my number 10 out of Philadelphia. They got to throw the ball, and he is probably the best option. They have.
Except, look at this. He's got Sam Bradford throwing it to him.
You're right. It is Sam
That's
Bradford.
why I didn't put him even in my top 15.
You're right. Sam Bradford is not the best quarterback. You could probably throw better than him. But I do have Zach Ertz because he's the one who catch the ball out there. They have Matthews as the receiver, but I think Zach Ertz is the passing answer. So that's going to do our top 10. So let's go to our number 1 sleeper. Bill, who do you have as your first sleeper or only sleeper?
Well, I think Charles Clay going to Buffalo, I think he could surprise. He could be a guy that gets his hands on the ball a lot.
I used to be high on him.
You were when we first started.
Yeah, but because Sammy Watkins was going to be out because he injured his foot, I think, right?
He did, yep.
Yeah, his foot. And he was going to do good since he's got Tyrod Taylor throwing it to him, but now I'm seeing where he's starting to get drafted in mock drafts, and now that I got my magazine, I'm reading about him, and I'm not high on him anymore.
Yeah, you dropped him way off your
Yeah.
board.
Whoop.
Exactly. And since we mentioned the Buffalo Bills, what else do we have to do now?
We have to mention our very first sponsor, GJP and Oswego at the JCPenney Plaza.
That's right. Larry and the guys over there do a great job making pizza and wings. Tonight we're going to be talking about desserts. We haven't talked desserts. They have cheesecake, cannolis. They have Oreo cheesecake. They have tiramisu and Italian cookies. They have anything desserts out there. You want it, he can whip it up for you. So visit Larry and the boys over the JCPenney Plaza, and you can call them up at 207-1000. You can see them on Facebook at GJP and Oswego on Facebook, and you can email them at GJPOswego@gmail.com. So visit Larry and the guys out there. My number 1 sleeper, I have Clive Walford.
Same with me.
I like him. I like him out of Oakland. He's going to be the 3rd option in his passing game for Derek Carr.
Is it second?
So you have him a 2nd, I have him 3rd. I mean, Michael Crabtree.
Michael Crabtree, I think he's going to be the 3rd
They'll go back.
option.
depends on what defense they play. Either way,
Yeah.
he's going to be a sleeper this year. I like him a lot. Everything I'm reading up on him and hearing about him, everyone is not really talking about him because they want to keep that sleeper tag on him.
Yeah.
So are you good for Clive? We're going to move on to our busts.
Yep.
All right, Eli, who do you have a bust?
I have Jordan Reed as my number one bust.
Okay.
Everyone's so high on him this year, and I just, he is going to do good. Don't get me wrong. He is going to do good. But he's not going to do as good as people are drafting him because they're drafting him like third round.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen that. Yeah, when we do mock drafts, he goes third, fourth round, and I think I can see why you have him there because he may not live up to
He's
the
not going to live up to when he's been drafted.
exactly. I like that too. My number one bust is going to be Jimmy Graham out of Seattle.
Really?
Yeah, they have so many passing options out there with
Dougie
Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett, Jermaine Curse.
Yeah, but he's the number 4 option.
He is the fourth.
Maybe, yeah, 4th. Maybe Tyler Lockett, maybe 3rd.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think Jimmy's going to do it this year. I know you guys like him. They have him in the top 10, but I think he's just going to bust this year. I haven't really seen him be drafted in mock drafts a whole lot. So Jimmy's my bust. Bill, who do you have as your number one bust?
Tyler Eifert. I think he's injured a lot, bad ankle injury. I don't think he's going to be able to come back from it. I know they're counting on him. I don't think they're going to get it.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. They did lose Mohamed Sanu and Marvin Jones in their passing game.
Yeah, so that makes him go up to the number 2 and not like the number 3 because after Marvin Jones.
True, but he's still battling. He's battling that injury, and now they're gonna double team AJ Green and maybe put another guy on or Eifert. So I can see that as being a bust, especially if you're gonna continue to draft him based on name and how high he's going. Someone take their blow up. Who's gonna score a gajillion points?
Greg Olson.
You think Olsen's gonna blow it up this year?
Yeah, just like last year. We had him on our team last year. He's gonna blow it up. And on our website, I have him as my picture up top.
You do have him. Yeah, it's your picture on top. Bill, who's your blow up this year?
I think Julius Thomas.
Really?
Yep.
Why Julius Thomas?
Well, because you guys are slagging Bortles, but Bortles was, if you look at the stats, he was right near the top in a lot of categories toward the end of the year, and I think he's got 2 wide receivers. Tight end strategy is if you got a guy with 2 tight ends that are good, or it's 2 wide receivers that are good, or a good running attack, that makes the tight end very valuable. The NFL's about mismatches. If they can't cheat the safeties up to shut the running game down because you got a tight end that can catch the ball, he's going to be very helpful. If you got a open wide receiver game, you got the whole middle of the field for dump offs. It just the teams that strong at wide out or strong at running, they're going to be the teams that have the breakout tight ends.
And this, Eli, is why he's our tight end expert. It's a great
Yes.
breakdown of the position. I like that. That's really good, Bill. My blow-up guy this year is going to be Kobe Fleener. With that passing offense in the Saints, I think he's just going
they
to...
really do like to pass in
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Breeze is just he's going to throw almost 5,000 yards this year. Fleener's going to
People are
catch...
saying that, but I don't think he's going to come close,
He's
definitely.
going to get there, yeah.
He's not going to... He did rank first last year in passing yards, but I don't think he's going to do that again. Because Marcus Colston left.
Yes, he is out. He did leave. But I think Fleener will get 70 to 80 balls, maybe even close to 90, maybe closer to 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's my blow-up guy this year. I like him a lot.
Did Bill mention his sleeper?
He did mention his sleeper. Did you mention your sleeper?
Yeah, Julius Thomas.
Julius Thomas.
Yeah.
All right, so I have... Oh, it's our candy bar bet time.
Oh, candy bar bet.
All right, that's our new jingle now. Our new jingle. What is that again?
Candy bar bet.
All right, so every week we take our positions and we do a candy bar bet. Most points at the end of the season wins a candy bar. This time, Eli has Ladarius Green from Pittsburgh. Latavius, I think it's Ladarius. Ladarius, a D, I don't know. Oh, Latavius Murray, that's what we think of. So he's at Ladarius Green. I have Gary Barnidge as my tight end candy bar bet. Bill, who do you think's gonna put up more points and who's gonna win that candy bar?
Boy, oh boy. I got to go with Ladarius. He's high on my chart.
Yeah.
I thought you would go with Barnidge since you ranked him. I think you ranked No, you didn't.
He had a 9. He's going out. Yeah, he's going off his rankings. Well, that's why they played in the game and not on paper.
Yep.
And that's like you're up now like 7-5 on our candy bar bets.
7.
What people were thinking. So, well, we have one more big announcement that neither one of you guys know. So we're gonna make a big announcement, and we're gonna put Bill on the spot right now. We have found out that there are 2 to 3 openings in the Elam Grace Fantasy Football League, and Eli and I would like to know if we would be able to get into one of those 2 or 3 openings.
Well, we'll take it under advisement. The competition committee will be meeting shortly, and we'll poll our constituencies and crunch the numbers, and we'll be in touch, and our people will call your people.
Excellent. We have good people to call too, right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, with you, yes. So with that, we have any final comments, concerns, anything you want to, final notes?
You want to take the best. All of us agree with this, unlike last week.
Yes.
If you want to take the best tight end, obviously take Gronk. He's going to get a lot of numbers. He's going to get a lot of touchdowns. He's going to get probably 9 to 10 touchdowns, a lot of yards.
So get them early.
Get him early
All right.
if you can. If everyone's drafting right, he'll go to the second round.
Exactly. I like that too. I think you're right. Bill, any final?
There's a lot of good tight ends potentially out there. They're using the position more than they ever have. You got guys like Jay Samaro at the Jets. You've got Gavin Escobar, who's probably going to take over for Witten, maybe not this year, but next. A lot of good guys there. Zach Miller, Austin Safarian Jenkins, if he can stay on the field. He's an athlete. He's an athlete.
If he can stay healthy, he's my second sleeper.
And change his attitude a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, it's a deep position this year. I think there's a lot of big names out there. If you can grab them, get them.
And same thing with wide receivers, which we're going to do next
We're
week.
doing wide receivers next week. So until next week, thank you for listening. Thank you for our sponsor, GJP and Oswego. And you can catch us on Facebook at Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips. Catch us on YouTube at Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips. Our blog is Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips at blogspot.blogspot.com. Email us at
Tyler and Eli FFtips@gmail.com.
Until next week.
I'm Eli Belaski.
I'm Bill King.
And I'm Tyler Belaski.
See you guys.